What's up, everybody out there in the Frontline universe? I'm Chris, and welcome back to another Dark Avenger haul at Signature Wall. See what I did there? Signature Wall, comic book corner, signature wall. Yeah. Anyway, here's the books this week, and this pile is a glorious pile of awesome. However, I do have to be honest. These are all the new books, the books that were released this week. And these are the books we were waiting for from Midtown last week. And even better news, the books that we ordered this week from Midtown. So we are up to date with our Midtown stuff. We also got a couple of extras, a few things that came out this week, one thing that came out this month that we missed, and one thing that came out this week as well. A big thing, something that when I heard about it 2 years ago, I saved up in advance for it. So I actually got us a early Christmas present. Something for Mike and I to enjoy as an early Christmas present, even though we don't. Well, we'll get into it when we get into it. Let's start with the most important thing here, and that's the books. And starting with this book, we officially now have Revolution issue number 1. So we are now officially caught up with the title series. I added issue 0 in the back, so this way we have the free issue 0 connected with issue number 1. So we are officially caught up with the Revolution main title. We got Revolution Mask, which I accidentally, if you guys remember, I accidentally got ROM issue number 3 because it was considered a Revolution tie-in. I made a mistake and I missed out on Mask and just got Micronauts. Now we've officially got Mask. And speaking of ROM, we also got the Revolution ROM one-shot. Now, funny story, I got to start remembering that IDW is not putting them out one at a time. Some weeks they can put out 2. We have the book, which is Action Man, that's coming out next week, but I missed the Transformers Revolution one-shot, which also comes out next week. So you won't be seeing the Transformers one-shot till 2 hauls from now. However, we still will be reviewing it digitally. I will get the book digitally to make sure that we have it for next week. Not this week's review, next week's review. So don't worry about that. But I think we're almost, and I'm going to take the book out real quick, not to read it because I've already reviewed ROM, just to see where we're at and what we have left. So September's over. So in October we have Revolution 3, check. We reviewed that last week. G.I. Joe Revolution, didn't get that yet. Transformers Till All Are One Revolution one shot, didn't get that yet. Revolution 4 didn't come out yet. Transformers Revolution we missed, but we will get it. And then Action Man Revolutions one shot, which we will get. We will be getting on time next week. Then in November we only have one more Transformers one shot, which is More Than Meets the Eye, and then Revolution issue number 5, and then we're done. And then we go into Revolutionaires, I believe it's called. But anyway, I love how Transformers gets 3 books and everybody else only gets 1. I understand Transformers has 3 titles, but G.I. Joe has 2. Just saying. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Revolution does kind of go. Transformers are at the epicenter of it all anyway. I just want to make sure the camera, it looks a little crooked. So if it is a little crooked, give me a second. I want to fix it to make sure it doesn't look crooked. There, it looks a little better. Apologies if it did come a little crooked. I apologize for that. I don't know. But anyway, not focusing on the camera. Also got Grim Fairy Tales 2016 Annual, as this is technically, after reading it, this is technically a issue 0, you could say, for the upcoming volume 2 of Grim Fairy Tales. It kind of sets up where we're going with issue number 1. So I definitely wanted to have this, since we're going to be getting Grim Fairy Tales volume 2 physically. I wanted to make sure we get the prelude to the series with the annual. I did review this already. This is just for my collection. Also, we officially have 2 more books that we are now adding to Marvel, and that is Champions, that's Champions issue number 1. I really enjoyed the first issue, so I'm going to give the first story arc a physical try and see where the series goes. Really great first issue, and we're going to be continuing it physically, starting from issue number 2, but we're going to be getting them from Midtown until, I want to say, January, because I'm not sure if we're going to wait before we start adding Marvel stuff till January. But anyway, we also got Welcome Back, All New Wolverine, issue number 13. This is part 1. Sorry for the glare. I'm trying not to get it because you get a little bit of a glare. But part 1 to Enemy of the State, number 2. Enemy of the State 2. Welcome Back. and welcome to the pile. Both Champion and All New Wolverine. Only one other Marvel book this week, and that is Amazing Spider-Man issue number 20. We'll see after Clone Saga. I might actually keep it. I might actually get the December books for Amazing Spider-Man from Midtown, because I might wait till after the Clone Conspiracy is over, see how the series goes, and then judge from there what the next story, when we find out what the next story arc is going to be, if I want to keep it or not. From Young Animals, we have Cave Carson has a cybernetic eye, issue number 1. Now, Young Animals has been a trip. Doom Patrol has been interesting, and Shade is definitely out there. We'll see where Cave Carson is, and I believe we still have Mother Mayhem. We'll be reviewing these books up until January physically. More than likely, whichever books I decide to continue reviewing after December, more than likely they'll be going to a digital format, just because these books are really out there, and I want to get those connecting covers like I mentioned a million times in December. And who knows, maybe after that I'll want to keep Doom Patrol, because it's starting to get a little interesting in my opinion. I don't know. What do you guys think about the Young Animal book so far? Let me know in the comments. We got Harley Quinn, issue number 6. Interesting cover. Raven. Looking forward to reading this. Issue number 2. Justice League, issue number 7. This was quoted as Superman versus Batman. Looking forward to that. Whoop. And I don't understand. We're going to move these over a bit. Okay. Finally broken away from Monster Men. Nightwing, issue number 7. Back on track on its own story. Thank you, God. Aquaman, issue number 9. Another book that probably will be ending up in a digital pile at some point. Seeing where this story arc goes. Batman, issue 9. Finally broken away also from Monster Men. Thank you, God. On its own route again with its own story. Cyborg, issue number 3. Green Arrow, issue number 9. We've already had sex on the beach. I'm wondering what we're gonna have next. Green Lanterns, issue 9. More on the Phantom Ring. Really interested and looking forward to seeing what we get with the Phantom Ring. Now, this book, I'm going to mention, it did come out this week. I probably won't be reviewing it because there were 2 or 3 books that happened before it. I'll show you guys and then I'll explain it. And that's Lady Death Extinction Express. I found out that Lady Death is still making books. It's by Coffin Comics, which is owned by the creator of Lady Death. And the book has a $8 price tag. And I'm pointing that out for a reason. Lady Death no longer is an ongoing series, whereas it's every single month. Instead, Lady Death is coming out once a season. I found that out today when I was actually looking through the book. And it turns out the next issue comes out, the next book, which is going to be called Oblivion Kiss, is coming out spring 2017. And then what they're considering Chapter 5, title still pending, is coming out summer of 2017. 18. Wait a minute. 17. I'm right. What am I thinking? 18. I'm jumping ahead of here, people. It's late. Believe me, when I'm recording this, it's late. I had a long day today. But anyway, so spring and summer of 2017. So these are seasonal books. But the reason I'm not going to review this is because there were books that came out before this. I do have them on order. They should be here next week, so you guys will be seeing them in the haul if Midtown is on time. But while these books are all their own story, Extinction Express number 1, there were other books before it, issue 1s. They're one-shots, but they connect to each other. One story takes place after the other, after the other, after the other. I don't know if there's going to be references to previous things that have gone on. There is a story so far page. So I don't want to start reading this and be lost. So I probably won't review Extinction Express now. I might wait till we get the other books and work my way up to Extinction Express, starting from the first book, which I have to figure out which one that is. But I got all 3 of the previous books that came out from Coffin Comics. They will be here, and then we'll figure things out from there. Alright, Superman, issue number 9. Looking forward to reading that. Superman John action. And finally, Trinity, issue number 2. I've been excited and on the edge of my seat waiting for this book for a bit, especially after that cliffhanger we got with issue number 1. So yeah, lots of great books this week. Finally caught up on Revolution. Lady Death is back on the current pile, which is great. Just got to catch up to it. And by spring of 2017, I'll be caught up with all the Lady Death current books coming out of Coffin Comics, and I'll be able to review the book on time instead of having to do it one book at a time going backwards. Well, not backwards, starting from the first. You know what I mean. All right, extras this week, or things that came out this week. First of all, this did not come out this week, so we'll talk about this first. This came out this month, and Mike and I missed it. And when we found out it came out, and we found out that it was attached to something else we're going to talk about in a little bit, we had to get it, and that is Rise of the Tomb Raider, the 20th celebration. This game came out last year on the Xbox One. However, PlayStation officially now has its copy, and it's a 20th anniversary, kind of like, it looks like a book. And you get some pages with some artwork from the game, the comics, both new and old. I have to be careful when I say the Xbox word to make sure it doesn't go on. But you got some cool comic book pages, art from comic book artists. I want to see if I can find a picture of, well, that's the game, the current game. Let's see if we can get an older game. I don't think we're going to find it. There was one. Nope, that's current game. There we go. So you get some artwork, which is really cool. And then, of course, you get the disc, which is very loose. But anyway, then you get the disc in the book, which I think is really cool. Nice spine. There's Tomb Raider. So I like this edition, and it doesn't cost anything extra. It's not a collector's edition. It's not something special. You could order this, and I believe on Amazon right now, it is still in the $40 price range. I would recommend it, especially for PlayStation 2 owners. With this, you also get, I'm going to skip that one for now, but new Ultimate Survivor difficulty mode, new outfits and guns inspired by Tomb Raider 3, 5 classic Lara skins, basically all the Lara Crofts up until this current game, all different skins from all different eras, Baba Yaga Temple of the Witch, endurance mode, Cold Darkness Awakened, 12 outfits, 7 weapons, and 35 expedition cards. So you basically get all the DLC that came out for this game for the Xbox One, plus the skins, plus something else that we'll talk about in a moment. I'm going to leave this actually on top of the comics to talk about again. Out this week, though, however, is Battlefield 1. I'm looking forward to doing some gameplay on this on Frontline Gaming Zone. Right now, as you guys know, I'm almost done with Destiny on my channel, but once we finish with Destiny, we will be getting into Battlefield. This is the Early Enlisters Deluxe Edition. What I thought when I bought this was, when I got the Deluxe Edition, because it happened with Mafia 3, they were saying it came with the Season Pass. Apparently, EA doesn't feel that a Deluxe Edition deserves that. So, for the Deluxe Edition, all you get is, obviously, I got the game on Tuesday instead of Friday, which is when the game is supposed to be released, and then I got all this extra downloadable content. No Season Pass, though, which is a huge minus, and is the reason why our Titanfall 2, which comes out next week, we've shrunk down from a Deluxe Edition to a regular edition. Not worth it for $20 just to get some extra skins. I will say Ubisoft is doing it a bit better, because we will be getting... there's 2 games from Ubisoft we're getting that actually have Season Passes, and it's an extra couple of dollars. Not much, but... Anyway, it is what it is. So, Battlefield 1 coming to Frontline Gaming Zone as soon as we finish Destiny, or maybe I'll just start streaming it on my channel and pass it over to Frontline Gaming Zone until I finish, and then I will be streaming exclusively on Frontline Gaming Zone. The other big thing that we got this week, and I can't show these until I show this, is, and I can't show the actual thing because we have it hooked up already, but it is the PlayStation VR. When this was announced 2 years ago at EA, my interest definitely spiked. We are in a time and era where, VR, was an inevitability, especially after the Oculus Rift. I knew that at some point the comic consoles were going to jump in. Xbox is taking the Oculus. PlayStation made its own VR. So I saved up, and the VR came out this week on, I believe, Tuesday. And Amazon sent me an email saying that they came in. We grabbed the launch bundle. Obviously, the headset's already hooked up to the PlayStation. I really don't want to... It's a lot of wires. There's a big wire attached to it. So I didn't want to make it messy and have like a headset with wires around. But we did get the bundle. So the bundle actually came with... I'll show you guys the games we got. We got the VR demos, which you can get for free if you want on download from PlayStation. And we got PlayStation VR Worlds, which I'd like to think it's a little bit more than demos, but at the same time, they're short little games in one. There's the London Heist, there's Scavenger Odyssey, there's Ocean Descent, VR Luge, and Danger Ball. Basically, there are, like with the demo disc, there are a few games on here. There's E-Valkyrie, Drive Club, Riggs, Wayward Skies, Headmaster, Battlezone, Until Dawn, Rush of Blood, PlayStation Worlds VR, and Tumble VR. Tumble VR you can get digitally from the PlayStation Store. All the other games I mentioned have physical discs. There are a couple of other digital games that didn't make it to the demo disc, and there's one or two physical games that did not make it to the demo disc. Like, I'm surprised Batman is not here. Anyway, beside the point, PlayStation VR is huge right now. I know a lot of people who are very interested in VR, and that's another reason why we got this. Now, I could say it includes VR support. You can actually walk through the Croft Manor in PlayStation VR, and a lot of games coming out in the coming year will have VR compatibility for certain aspects of their games. So, like I said, we were planning this for a while, so I had the time to save up the money to get this as an early present, an early Christmas present for myself and Michael. And honestly, I would actually say birthday present as well, because the bundle pack was a little wee bit pricey. So, yeah. So we got PSVR. I'm looking forward to playing it and streaming that also on Frontline Gaming Zone, because you can stream PlayStation VR games. And we will be streaming VR games. I believe big games will be coming out starting next week, as a matter of fact. I believe there's a few games. We might hold off on one game that's coming out next week just for money purposes, because there are 2 games coming out next week, new games. So we might wait and get the VR game the following week. So we'll I will make a little mention of this really briefly and quick. It's a really fun experience. I definitely would recommend, if you're on the fence about it, find a store that allows you to demo it and see if you like it. But I'll be honest with you, I've tried it already. Mike's tried it already. And it's nothing but an amazing experience. I know our friend Ryan, 0 Hit Points, who is on Twitch, by the way, 0 Hit Points, subscribe. He tried it at his local store, and he loved it so much that he got it, which is great. So hopefully PlayStation VR will be around a lot longer than the Xbox Kinect, because we all know where the Kinect is now. It's used for the camera. That's about it. Although I could be wrong. I'm sure there are a few people out there that like the Xbox Kinect. Personally, I have it. I don't use it. Don't use it at all. And until we get some VR games, I don't use the VR that much either. We're just enjoying what we have now with the PlayStation VR Worlds and the demo discs of games that we'd like to get at some point. So, that's it for this week's haul, guys. As always, feel free to comment below your thoughts about anything here. I had a crazy week last week. It was a really rotten weekend last weekend. For those of you that follow me on Facebook, you know already what happened last weekend. It was before... it was after the haul video, so it didn't happen. We did the haul video before the event happened. If you want to know what it is, go check out Facebook. I really don't want to talk about it. Not saying it's hard to talk about, but it's something I don't want to talk about right now. It was a long weekend, and it kind of resonated into the week a bit, and then I lost my voice during the week. It was just a crazy week. So hopefully I'll get all of the books that came out this week read. We'll have the review out for you guys, hopefully, God willing, Tuesday. Because if not, then it's gonna be Wednesday. Mike and I will not be on Frontline Live this coming Tuesday. So if we don't have the video up by Monday, maybe we'll have it up Tuesday, Wednesday, like I said, the latest. And yeah, we'll get back on time with these books. But anyway, as always, we are Comic Frontline, your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. If you like what you saw here, please, if you're not already subscribed to Comic Frontline. This way we're in your sub box and you do not miss out on a single video. We put videos up each and every day, whether it be a review, overview, breaking news, comic review, movie review, Media Madness, Frontline Live. Both shows are live. Coming in November will be Dark Avenger live every Friday. Crazy stuff, awesome stuff. If you're around on Tuesday night, 9:30 p.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time, come check out Frontline Live. Come talk with us. We love hearing from you guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought about the stuff I got here. I will be answering all the comments from the past couple of reviews that I haven't answered yet, hopefully within the next day or two. And yeah, so hopefully review will be on time as well. Also, if you'd like to see more Comic Frontline goodness, go check out comicfrontline.com. Till next time, everybody, I'm reaching over here. Take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.